030 hours. A dark sky above, silence heavy as stone. 17 OSA-style drones rise from the horizon, each no bigger than a man's shadow. Yet together, they carry a storm. They've flown 6 hours, 750 kilometers from home. No GPS, no guiding hand, just a clock, a path, and a promise. And somewhere ahead, an S-400 battery guarding a depot worth hundreds of millions, waiting, unprepared. This isn't an empty field, it's a strategic fuel depot. Cylindrical tanks 20 meters in diameter, each holding roughly 2,000 tons of aviation fuel. Fuel for Tu-160s and Tu-95s, the long-range bombers that matter. On paper, it's safe. S-400 long-range radars, Panzer S-1 point defense batteries, automated foam deluge systems with 50,000 liters labeled ready. In reality, it's a matchbox in a dry forest. Look closer at the attackers. Built from plastic frames, cheap flight controllers, a Pixhawk knockoff on AliExpress for about $89, and simple navigation. Magnetic compass, accelerometers, dead reckoning. No satellite fix to spoof, no command link to cut. Each drone carries a shaped charge warhead, roughly 3.2 kilograms, an inverted copper cone designed to punch through thin steel. Crude, almost laughable on paper, but simplicity hides lethal logic. Hours dissolve into a single long approach. Operators watch faint contacts. For the drones, time shrinks to seconds. At the final waypoint, 30 minutes into their autonomous window, the autopilot seizes command. Speed set to 42 meters per second. Impact profiles locked. The lead drone's thermal camera reads tank temperatures. Tank 4, 7.0 degrees C. Tank 7, 12.1 degrees C. Tank 12, 11.80 degrees C. Tank 1, 13.2 degrees C. Those decimals matter. A recently topped tank holds maximum vapor pressure and maximum destruction potential. The fortress awakens. The S-400 network hums. The 9020 N6E fire control radar sweeping the horizon. Multi-million-dollar tracking suites, promising interception. Ringed inside are Panzer S-1 units, each bristling with 57 E-6 guided missiles and twin 30mm autocannons. Marketing says they swat cruise missiles. Reality, minimum engagement envelopes and false returns make tiny quadcopters ghosts on a scope. Physics picks sides. Radar waves scatter through buildings and temperature inversions. The Panzer's minimum useful radar cross-section sits near 0.1 trauls. The attacking drones register around 0.1 trowl, an order of magnitude smaller. Proximity fuses tuned for aluminum airframes, and large targets can fail against composite plastic. Piles of missiles, million-ruble interceptors, streak into the night and detonate on nothing. The automatic foam system shows green lights, but inspection would later reveal rusted nozzles and expired concentrate. Maintenance lost the war before the first strike. Impact begins like a precise, terrible clock. A 3.2 kilo-shaped warhead slams through 8 millimeters of steel roof. It detonates in the vapor space above 2,000 tons of fuel. The pressure wave converts liquid to gas in a heartbeat. The roof becomes a 15-ton steel frisbee. Fire surges. At 10,000 liters per minute, the deluge pumps foam, but it exhausts in 90 seconds. Heat climbs. At 100 meters from the blaze, radiant flux reaches roughly 50 kilowatts per square meter, enough to ignite wood spontaneously. Tank number 4 bleeds into tanks 5 and 1. Chain reactions cascade. Fire crews pull back. Fire engines can't approach within 500 meters before they paint blisters. Underground pipelines continue feeding the flames. Emergency shut-off valves, designs from the 1960s, fail as seals melt. At 03 to 18, one tank suffers a bleave, boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion. Steel walls peel back like tin. The night is a rolling furnace. Immediate operational fallout is stark. Tu-160 and Tu-95 sorties are cancelled. Bomber fleets sit grounded as fuel stocks dry. A single depot destroyed can ripple across a theater. Logistics delayed, patrols scaled back, strategic options narrowed. Commanders recalculate. Markets spike. A tactical raid has strategic teeth. Debate follows. Defenders say radar blind spots and maintenance shortfalls explain this bad night. Analysts warn this is systemic. Low-cost swarm tactics, plastic airframes, cheap flight controllers, distributed autonomy can overwhelm point defenses. The math is simple. 17 small signatures clustered across a 3-kilometer front create saturation. Missiles like the 57 EE-6 need continuous illumination. A swarm steals that continuity. One missile flies at Mach 2.8, but it needs a reliable lock. Most nights, that lock never stabilizes. What are the non-operational responses? Better short-range coverage, more resilient proxy fuse designs, hardened depot architecture, redundant supply chains, and rigorous maintenance cycles. Policy matters. Invest in inspection regimes, replace decades-old valves, and rethink spacing between tanks. Each fix costs money and time. Two things a swarm can exploit. A human frame returns the story to its cost. Imagine the radar operator whose thumb hit the auto-engage button as contacts flickered, watching missiles miss by meters. Picture the firefighter, hose limp in hand, knowing the foam on board will run out in under 2 minutes. Or the logistics officer tallying lost tons and rerouted missions. Behind the hardware are faces that carry this night's weight. 17 cheap drones, a $500 million S-400 battery. A night that proved scale isn't safe. The story isn't only what burned, it's what was revealed. Asymmetric tools, 3.2 kilo. Wancrew warheads, $89 controllers. Magnetic navigation can topple complacency. The world must ask, when cheap becomes potent, what protects the rest of us?